Welcome to the Oilers TV pregame live show on EdmontonOilers.com. I'm Tony Brar. The Oilers are set to kick off their home schedule against the Boston Bruins tonight. We'll have some live pregame interviews with some players and head coach Todd McClellan, as well as a panel presented by Sport Check. Stay tuned.
Yeah, they're a good team. Obviously they have that line, and they're effective. But up and down the lineup, they're good all over.
Were you starting to wonder when this home opener was going to happen?
Yeah, it's been a long time. It feels like a while since we've been back playing a game here. Looking forward to tonight.
Is there something special about the home opener every season when you kind of kick off, get to see your fans again in a regular season setting and kind of get going?
Yeah, it's exciting. It's definitely exciting. It almost feels like opening day all over again, where you get that excitement again, and to play in front of these fans is always fun.
Connor, you guys mentioned how tough it is to go into Winnipeg and play in that barn. How important is it to set the tone tonight and to, moving forward for the rest of the year, to make this place a hard place for visiting teams to come into, to be intimidated and all that?
Yeah, we definitely have to be better at home. I think our home record last year wasn't good enough. Home is where you have to find a way to get wins, and you have to be good off the start, and that's something that we've really struggled at all year last year.
The top line's off to a great start, and you yourself Locks expected to get the start tonight. Is there a certain game plan or certain things that you think, or just kind of focus on your guys' game?
Just got to focus on ourselves. Obviously, you have to contain that top line and a couple of their key guys, and that'll give you a better chance to win. But if we play our game and we play the way we can, we're comfortable playing against a lot of teams.
Carl, what is your version on that makes him difficult on the face-offs?
That's a good question. He's just so strong. He doesn't do any fancy moves or doesn't do anything out of the ordinary. He's just strong, and he's got good timing. He's obviously done it a long time and for many years. So I gotta find a way to get it done against him.
You're also about 50%. Have been working on that in the off season.
It's definitely something I take pride in. I have to find a way to keep that number up there. Face-offs is always something I've wanted to be better at, and starting to see a little bit of results, although it's early. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, just give me a thought on that. And you look pretty comfortable out there. How was it once you got out there, once you got the feel of the game, things like that?
I think it took time to really get used to, but I think I adjusted well. And playing with the guys we have here, it makes it that much easier for me.
Are you in tonight?
I'm not too sure. I got to go check.
Yeah. What do you think the way your NHL career started, it's pretty unique. And now it's, even if you're not playing, you'll be watching. So what do you think it's going to be like?
Yeah, it's obviously awesome, to be able to play my first game overseas. But being able to just be here and learn every day from the coaching staff and players is good for me.
Do you guys get butterflies? I mean, as a kid, you get butterflies. First game of the year at home and stuff like that. Is it the same even for pros and young adults?
For me, at least, it is. I think every game I come to, I'm excited to play. I got butterflies to play, so I think at least for me, it's like that.
You didn't look overwhelmed out there in the time that you played. Do you feel comfortable? Are you feeling more comfortable as you go, that you feel comfortable playing this league?
I think so. I think, like I mentioned, playing with the guys we have here, it makes it, that much easier for me, and it gives me, a lot of confidence playing with these great players.
Do you have that 9 game in the back of your mind, or you're trying not to worry about it?
I'm really trying to take it day by day and learn every day that I am here, whether it's here for 9 games or longer. I'm just trying to learn every day that I'm here.
Evan, it's your first home opener. Is there anything that you're kind of looking forward to with the fans in the building?
I'm just looking forward to seeing the atmosphere. I saw it preseason. It was great. I'm expecting tonight to be a whole nother level.
Is it you don't look overwhelmed out there when you're playing, but is it hard to stay calm?
A little bit sometimes. You get anxious and excited, so it's kind of tough to stay calm. But I think that's part of my game is just staying relaxed and try not to get let my emotions get the best of me.
I mean, I know you're short in your tenure here with the Oilers, but have you kind of experienced the passion of that league yet? Have you got accustomed to it yet?
Big time, yeah. The Oilers fans love their hockey here, I can tell. So it's pretty special. Thanks.
Yeah.
being at home, playing these home games, and how important it is for you guys to establish this as kind of your place?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long road to start the season, so we're happy to be back at Rogers tonight, and obviously we want to establish home ice advantage early in the season this year. We didn't get off to the start that we did that we wanted to at home last year, so we want to make sure we put our best foot forward tonight.
Ken, what is having a comeback like you did the other night do for the confidence of the team, or is it too soon to measure that?
No, that's huge for our confidence. I mean, that's a tough building to play in, and being down 4-1 going into the third period against a really good team. Anytime you can come back and get out a big win in a building like that is obviously a huge confidence boost for us moving forward, and we need that coming into tonight against another top team in the league.
Cam, I don't know if you were here last night, but Grant was talking about how there'd be a time where you had 3 goals, but then fourth one you shut the door, and they were kind of comparing that to you the other night. Did you get that sense too, that you had to shut the door 4-1 and then you could come back? Yeah,
I prefer not to let it get to 4-1, obviously, but anytime you give up that fourth one early in the second, you know that the next one's going to be huge. You just kind of have to do your best to keep your team in it, give you guys a chance to win. I thought I made some big saves in the second, and obviously the breakaway in the third one was 4-4 to give us a chance. So it's all about short-term memory, letting the last one go, focusing on the next shot, and just giving our guys a chance.
It's one win, but coming back at 2-2 as opposed to 1-3, is that a big psychological lift for this whole series?
Huge. Like I said, I mean, not only just the way we came back and won that game, but the dynamic that changes our record to 2-2. We're coming back feeling pretty good about ourselves in the home opener, and it's just a better way to come home and play in front of our fans.
As a group, have you guys talked about making this a tough place to play? I mean, obviously it hasn't been a hard place to play in recent years, but you guys obviously talked about that and try to figure a way to make it like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously at the top of the to-do list here. You always want to make this a tough place to play. We need our fans behind us all night. I know that they're going to be rocking in the building, so we're going to come out and we're going to be ready to go the drop of the puck and give them a lot to cheer for, and establish that home ice advantage early.
Cam, you played Boston last week. The top line seems to be on a roll. Yourself, Locke's playing good together. Do you alter your game plan or preparation at all heading into tonight?
I mean, obviously that top line is, provides a tough opponent for any kind of matchup. So, I mean, we're obviously going to have to do a good job on them, but they can hurt you up and down their lineup. So as much as we have to focus on that top line, they're a very deep team, and they can hurt you in a lot of different ways. So I think we're going to need, a big effort from all 20 guys in this room to go up against, a good lineup across the hall.
Thanks, Cam.
Thank you.
Last home game here was September 29th, so there's been almost 3 weeks between home games here, but we had a great time on the road. We're able to come back here 2-2 and play against a really good team that we already faced, and excited about it. Obviously, I think everyone here can say it was great to see the weather yesterday and what it's like today. So I know even the fans and everyone is excited for this one.
How do you guys capture whatever it was you came up with in that third period and start with that the next night? Why is that so difficult?
No, it's just the belief system and the optimism and that type of stuff, and carrying it over. And I think the main thing is when we trust in the game plan and everyone's buying into it, we get the result that we want. And I think that's what happened in the third period last game.
How big is that psychologically to come back 2-2 as opposed to 1-3 going into this home opener?
It's huge. Obviously it wasn't the start we wanted with starting the season off 0-2, but to be able to come out of the 4-game road trip 2-2 back home, it helps immensely with the mindset heading into tonight's game. So, like I said, it helps with the belief system and optimism coming into tonight, and it should make for a really good game.
Getting contribution from a number of guys like you guys did in Winnipeg, does that help take some of the pressure off the guys too a little bit?
For sure, we need that. We need that in order to be a good team. You can't just count on one guy to do it all for you. And it's great to see Connor have the start that he's had and has been leading the team the way that he has. But in order for us to get some points in the standings and get some wins, we need other guys to step up and contribute here. So, we had it in the preseason with guys stepping up, fighting for roles, and it should be the same thing here in the season. So it was nice to see some different guys step up and score some big goals. And it was nice to see Nursey come in and pull off a move like that to get the game winner.
After playing with Patrice for so long, what's it like playing against him?
It's tough. It's a tough matchup. Obviously, he's won 4 Selkies for a reason, and I think everyone focuses on his defensive game and how great he is at face-offs and shutting the other teams' best players down. But in the last 5 years, he's been able to score 30 goals a year too to go with it. So he's a tough player to play against, both sides of the puck, and that's one of the big challenges heading into tonight is him and that line and the success they've had so far.
What's underrated about Bergeron's offensive game?
Welcome to the panel presented by Sport Check, on location at Studio 99, a great place for some good guys, and that's why I'm standing here alongside Jack Michaels and Bob Stauffer. Guys, the home openers tonight, they're playing the same Boston team they played last week. A little different circumstances, though. They were coming off their road trip in Europe, and this time a huge... Welcome to the panel presented by Sport Check, on location at Studio 99, a great place for some good guys, and that's why I'm standing here alongside Jack Michaels and Bob Stauffer. Guys, the home openers tonight, they're playing the same Boston team they played last week. A little different circumstances, though. They were coming off their road trip in Europe, and this time a huge come-from-behind victory against the Jets. What kind of momentum can we see early on in this game, Jack?
Well, for the Oilers, they hope they can carry forth the momentum they brought on Tuesday night and their dramatic come-from-behind win in Winnipeg. I mean, I can't think of a tougher set of circumstances than on the road against the league's best team at home last year, down 3 with 20 to play, and the Oilers are able to come up with the goods and get a win. I mean, it's the first time in 5 years. That doesn't happen that often in the National Hockey League, so to get that and come into the home opener at 2-2 instead of 1-3 really kind of elevates and electrifies the room a little bit. Sure, they're going to be juiced because it's the home opener, but coming off that victory, Edmonton's got to be excited at getting another crack against the Boston Bruins, who will be on the second of a back-to-back. That's the one thing about this stretch of games against 100-point clubs is Edmonton, in its first 2 home games, will be getting teams on the back end of a back-to-back.
Tony, for me, I mean, one of the things is just the mindset also in the building, right? Like, I mean, when it's 4-1 against Winnipeg, You know what was out there on Twitter. You know what the reaction was like with the fans. There was nervousness and apprehension. But then when you see your team rally the way the Oilers rallied, if you're a fan, you're like, hey, that gives you a sense of belief that things can be accomplished. And I think as a result, the spirit in the building tonight, I expect to be really good, because I think the fans will have an appreciation. The Oilers, they had it, as it's turned out, maybe we've underestimated how good New Jersey was, the way they've handled things. Tough opening game against New Jersey. They played okay in Boston. Boston was a little bit better, but the Oilers played okay in that game. Found a way to win in New York. Wasn't a pretty game. Afternoon games are tough, especially for young teams. And then the rally against Winnipeg was, it was electrifying and it was exciting. And Jack had some great calls with that, but it was a beauty to be a part of. And then to come back home, well, now you get to build on that. So I think the fans are going to play a factor in it too. I think it creates a whole different mood around the city as well.
I think it's safe to say that the momentum was spearheaded by their captain, number 97, who set an NHL record being involved in the first.
You are the master of understatement, aren't you?
I am for sure, but he's so modest in his answers. He's always a team-first guy, so I guess we have to kind of pick up the slack and just talk about how incredible that feat is.
Well, I mean, it is an incredible feat, but Connor McDavid actually makes a subtle good point. And he goes, I don't know how great of an achievement it is in light of the team perspective. In other words, even he recognizes the need, if the Oilers want to get where they want to be, if they want to join, for instance, that group of 100-point clubs I was talking about, they're going to need more than just Connor McDavid on any given night. But there's no question about it. I mean, Bob talks about the energy in the building. Look, it's fun to have an original six team in the building tonight. You could probably make an argument the Bruins on one line have 3 of the top 25 players in the league, but the Oilers have the best player in the league, the best player on the planet, and he shows it every night on both sides of the puck. And that's why Todd McClellan can appreciate his talents, because he knows there's no box that Connor McDavid doesn't check. However, he's going to have to check another one tonight because, as I mentioned, Boston boasts arguably the top line in the entire National Hockey League.
Tony, Jack and me, we don't agree on everything. There's a little bit of separation in age, but the one thing we do agree on is the most...
a little bit?
A little bit. Today it feels like a lot, but anyhow, I digress. One thing we agree on is we think the greatest athlete ever was Bo Jackson. And every time Bo Jackson touched the ball in football, especially, people were on their seats, and because he was that electrifying because of his explosiveness. And when what we're seeing with Connor McDavid, like when we were in Winnipeg, as that game wore on, the fans knew it. You could feel a nervous apprehension in the building. We're privileged to watch it on a nightly basis. And you mentioned that, Connor's a very modest fellow. The Oilers do need some secondary scoring production. The privilege of getting a chance to see it and seeing a guy just drive it all game long. But there were some good other things that happened in that third period of that game as well. I thought that Leon Draisaitl and Jesse Puljujärvi had some good moments together. Even Milan Lucic with Ryan Strome. Ryan Strome, I thought, had a little bit of energy going late. So we'll look to see if that continues tonight.
They also do have a tough matchup again tonight against the Boston Bruins. Very quickly, guys, a guy like Patrice Bergeron, 13 points. David Pastrnak, 9 points. Brad Marchand, 11 points. It's such a tough test to start off a 4-game homestand very quickly, guys. How important is this, especially with Nashville on Saturday, Pittsburgh on Tuesday, and Washington on Thursday?
Well, it's a 4-game homestand against the league's elite. And, if the Oilers want to get into a position where they're not chasing the season, they're going to have to weather it. And they're going to have to find a way to get maybe 5 points out of a possible 8 against that quartet of opponents. It won't be easy, even though you're on home ice and even though you're getting opponents on the second of a back-to-back. And Todd McClellan's probably hoping for 6 points out of that possible 8. But the bottom line is, as you mentioned, Boston has one of the league's best lines, has a goalie in Yaroslav Halak who has good career success against Edmonton and played very well in last week's win over the Oilers. But that was in Boston, and as we talked about, it's a bit of a different Edmonton club, and it'll be a charged-up atmosphere.
Bruins are 1-2 on the road. The 2 losses for Tuukka Rask. Halak's got a .960 save percentage. Oilers are going to have to find a way to get some pucks to him early.
Absolutely. Halak, 1.18 goals against average and a .961 save percentage so far this year. For Jack and Bob, you can hear their call on 6:30 CHED tonight. I got you covered right here on Oilers TV. This has been The Panel, presented by Sport Check.
Take whatever it was that you found in the third period last game and find a way to start with that same something,
That would be the game plan, and you're right, there's no easy answer to that. We played on our toes a little bit more, we executed better. We played like we had nothing to lose, though, in that third period. We were down, so we played free. heard me talk about that before, and I think there's a little bit of apprehension sometimes at the beginning of our nights, and we've got to overcome that. It's not physical, it's a mental thing, and tonight here at home we'll have some some energy, I believe, and we should be ready to play.
Along with the momentum, Todd, you guys played Boston last week. Obviously different circumstances. You guys are coming back home from Europe. This time around, come from behind victory 2 nights ago. But you're also playing against one of the league's top lines. Does the game plan alter at all because you're playing 37, 88, and
Well, first of all, the first part of coming back from Europe, we were adjusted. We were fine. We didn't have any excuses to use there that night. The second part of it, they are, or if they're not, awfully close, the top line in the league right now as far as production goes. I think they had 11 or 12 of the 23 or 24 shots last night in Calgary. Not only do they score, but they've got one of the best checking centers in the league as well. So they present a problem for our team and for everybody else in the league right now. Very dynamic on the power play, so we're aware of them. We will talk about those three as a unit or as a group. But with that being said, we can only put 5 players on the ice against them at any given time. That leaves 15 other of our players to outplay their third and fourth lines, and we expect that to happen.
Todd, what's the plan with Evan Bouchard tonight in terms of deployment and who he might play with?
I'm sorry, I can't. We got to fix this because I can't hear, or else I'm deaf. Sorry. Could be the second one.
Okay, I'm putting it as close as not as close. Okay. The plan for Evan Bouchard tonight.
He'll play.
He'll play, and how he might be deployed, who he might be.
He'll play, and he'll get deployed as his game presents it to Jans on the back end. Be aware of matchups, but he's held his own fairly well. So our fans will see him play here at home tonight, and he'll continue developing.
Todd, what's your sense of the players and just their anticipation of this home opener after being away for 3 weeks?
Well, there's any type of home opener, you're excited. You're happy to come back to your own community, play in front of your own fans in your own building. We're a little bit late, obviously, but we've had guys in there that are going into their 13th, 14th home opener now, and they probably get the sweaty palms and they get excited, and family, friends, local people coming out to watch them is important. But sometimes you can get overzealous early in the game, and it can take you out of the game. So we have to find that sweet spot as far as being emotionally charged and being able to execute early.
Todd, talk to some of the guys inside about trying to establish, Rogers as being a tough place to play. Hasn't always been that way in the past couple of years. But as a coaching staff, do you guys have an input into any of that, or is that something the players, it's up to them to do on the ice?
No, well, we're part of the team. The results go through us, through the players, through the organization. That's one thing when you win or lose. It's not always just the players or the coach. It's everybody that's involved. And we all have a job or a role to play in our success here at home. And we want to make this a very tough building to play. There's been years where it has been and some other years where it has not. We'd like to write our own chapter with this year's team and make it a difficult spot.
You had a couple of D pairs that you went with primarily during that comeback. Are you faced with potentially having to split one of those pairings up with Bouchard coming in, or can you play a couple righties together, or what's your thought there?
Well, we can play a couple righties together. I don't know if that will be ideal. As I mentioned yesterday, you'll see pairs. You've already all written them down and texted them out and did whatever you guys do. But I don't know how often you'll see those pairs together on a regular basis in the game. We may look at getting lefties and righties together. It'll depend who's on the ice. But as I said yesterday, Trent Yawney has a tremendous amount of experience balancing out the back end, and he does a tremendous job. I've got a lot of faith in how he rolls the D-man out on the back end, and he'll do a tremendous job again tonight.
Todd, home opener tonight. Exciting night for fans, exciting night for the players. How much do you think that excitement translates onto the ice for the players and really gets them going?
Well, we love playing here at home. We appreciate the fans' energy, The building itself is tremendous. Opening night is exciting. And as I mentioned, it can take you overboard sometimes where you get too wound up. Or you're telling yourself, hey, let's just find a happy medium, and sometimes you're under-energized. We have to find the sweet spot. We have to be prepared to start right off the bat and get in a rhythm, find our game, find your game, I'll tell the players, in our team environment real early, and then have it build throughout the night.
Thanks for watching the pregame show here on Oilers TV. Keep it locked in all day long on EdmontonOilers.com, as we'll have you covered, including the live post-game reaction following tonight's matchup. I'm Tony Brar, and we'll see you soon.